try to build something with him. Because I honestly, I was confused by the son thing. I don't know if you guys want to touch on that. I'm still confused by the son not going to college. There would be never a choice. But I would look at my son like, you are mad. I don't care if your mom's not at home. You're going to college. So that for me, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What's your thought on that?
I don't understand that either. So I'm not even gonna like really truly psychoanalyze it because I think that's something for Iyanla to go work through 10 years from now when the son is married and his wife is saying my mother-in-law is terrorizing us because blah, blah, blah. I just thought that was ridiculous that her son isn't going to college because he needs to be by her side. But there just seems to be a very interesting, for lack of a better word, I will use interesting dynamic between her and her kids. Because remember when she was told that she is not ready for love, she's like, my kids are rooting for me. Like my kids are expecting me to bring them back someone who's going to do this. I'm like, did your kids send you to the grocery store to buy a man? Like, what is happening here? Did you guys have a family meeting and y'all came up with a list of what this man is supposed to be and you like what is going on here? Like you've never just like walked out of your house and gone on a date, had coffee with someone. It's like no, you guys all sat down and you decided this is it for us. Like I'm like, your kids are a little too enmeshed in your romantic life. It needs to be boundaries. Boundaries need to be put in place. But that when she said that, I was just like, okay, sis, you or was it your son who was just like, I need to be let go of this role so I can go to college? Mama needs to get a man. Like, what is going on here? Like, we need to. Once again, Stacy, please come to this channel. Like, we really need to understand because I like I know that these are very harsh critiques, so it could be off-putting. We only see what we see. Like probably a lot is left on the floor, and you know you could give us some additional context. But like you need to clarify the statement about your son not going to college and why it seems like your kid sent you to the grocery store, aka ready to love to find them a man, and it is so heartbreaking that you're returning empty-handed. Like you're never going to leave the house again after that night. Like I don't understand. Clarify.
Maria, do you want to talk to that? Do you want
to? Yeah, I think that it's like you are ruining your son. Okay. Your son is going to have psychological issues with forming healthy relationships with women because of your codependency with your son. Not only is he probably a mama's boy at this point, which has its own set of issues, but he may even start resenting you. And as a result of resenting you, he's going to project that onto other women. Okay. And this happens a lot to men, you know, and that breeds like incel energy, you know, and incel energy is women hating energy. Like, I just think that, you know, I don't even care about Stacy at this point. I'm more concerned about her son. He's too young to be like the man of the house in the way that she has described it. Like, he needs to be out there being young, being free, living his life, experiencing different things, you know, dating. I don't know what his dating life is like, but how is it that you couldn't go to college? You ruined this boy's life because he felt like you needed him. The whole point of a parent is to make sure that their kids have the best opportunities in life so that they can grow and be independent and go into the world and be free. But you've robbed him of that. And I get it. You went through like a very hard divorce, all of that. You were emotionally impacted by that. And I get that. That's a very hard thing to go through, especially probably at the level that you were at. But for you to not have more discernment on what level of exposure your children need to have to your own trauma is very concerning to me. I don't know how many kids she has, but like she needs to, hopefully she learns from like this whole situation. Hopefully she does listen to some of this critique, because I really think that for like maybe she messed up on the older son, but hopefully for the other kids she can do different by them, because we can't have that. And yeah, like the fact that they're like almost more desperate than she is for her to find a man means that they feel in some type of bondage by the fact that you don't have a man and you are burdening us with all of the emotional distress that a man should be taking on for you. She's probably stifling them, just like she was kind of stifling the chrysanthemum situation. Like, why are you trying to make sure chrysanthemum, like, girl, like your priorities are messed up. They're messed up in your dating life and they're messed up in your family dynamics. Like, yeah, I think she just needs to get it together, and I think she needs therapy. I didn't hear her talk about going to therapy. I heard her say that she needed a moment of healing after her divorce or whatever, but I didn't hear therapy. I think she really needs to go to therapy. And I think she needs to free her son. Like, let him go to school. Let him figure out his
and can I say something? 'Cause I know Ono hasn't gotten a chance. I'm just gonna just quickly just say, I think she has good bones though. Like on a positive note, like she has good bones. Like the stuff that we see with David is because she detected it. Like she called it out. She has good bones. So that's why I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say that there's probably quite a few things that triggered the desperate move that she was doing that we didn't get to see. Also knowing that, like what Alexis Fly was saying, there's a lot of behind the scenes texting and calling. There's probably stuff that was happening there, maybe that triggered the desperate moves that we saw. Maybe if I'm taking what's the name of that lady that you interviewed, Ida. And she was saying someone was rubbing on her booty. Maybe some people were setting Stacy up with these expectations that she was their number one. I'm gonna try to give her some of that, benefit of the doubt, because we saw tendencies of being a little aggressive, but it was like almost a night and day switch.
Yeah.
I still put my foot on her neck with the whole son not going to college thing, with the whole my kids are rooting for me, and then later on saying my kids are going to be so disappointed I didn't bring them back a man who's going to buy them a puppy and blah, 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 right? I give her a side eye for that, because that's some healing, that's some brokenness, that's some inner work that needs to take place. But I do think in her is a good woman. Like she has some good bones in there. I'm just going to say that.
I know Onu still needs to go, but I don't know, Kenny. Like something about her, like the vibe that she gives me, I don't know about the good bones theory. Even like the way she treated KG just gave me a little bit of rottenness. And with this whole freaking frat thing, like it's not even just about like, oh, like, they're teaming up and she's all worried about chrysanthemum. It was a dynamic and an element of drama starting, right? Like you are giving off like a drama starting energy where it's like you're repeating things that people didn't say, or like over exaggerating a situation. Like the whole situation with what's his name? The guy that wanted the passwords?
David.
I get like where she's coming from with that. Like I would be a little bit but like she did like surmount it into like a whole narrative, and so that left an impression on the men's mind, on his mind. And then like now you're like trying to he said she said about who's number one and who's number two, and then you're trying to tell dude like, this is how you like it's just too much. I don't know her well enough to say she has bad bones necessarily, but I'm not at the place where like I'm like saying that she has good bones, because I've just seen her type before, dealt with her type before, and it's a little bit mean girl aspects to it that I don't quite gel with in my personality, but that's just me. But I see what you're saying, Kenny.
On you, we want to add.
I think the ladies hit it on the head. I think there's some codependency with her children come into play here. And if we go to last week, if we take away her conversation last week with David, from the start up until now, what conversation or what connection has he made with any of the contestants up to the show? Because I'm looking for it and I couldn't find it. Whereas with Chrysanthemum, at least she was able to make connections. It just felt like, again, that motherly vibe, her coaching, telling people what to do or not to do. She's not telling us what Stacy wants until the last episode. I'm sorry, until she got kicked out and we get her little 3-minute speech or 3-minute speech where it's like, my family, my children are going to be disappointed with me. I'm looking to find a man to help me with my children, which again, that's toxic to deal with. But I don't understand exactly why she came on the show. Now, if we're looking just by looks, honestly, she's probably one of the top 3 beautiful women on the show this season, maybe. And if that was her calling card, if you take that away, there was no conversational substance that I can recall. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think it is. Like the conversation with David, I think both parties are to play there. There's things that I didn't like on both sides, so I'm gonna take that away. The fact that all the guys were able to call her out on this, like halfway through the season, that to me is a troubling aspect. And again, the children maybe brings more baggage to her. So when you compare her to Chrysanthemum freaking Frat, she's going to be now weighted down before. And again, like I see why they did what they did. I don't agree with everything, but again, it just felt like she wasn't there for the reasons where the other guys are there for. She's not right. I mean, I don't think she's ready for a relationship. She definitely needs therapy. And as Kenny said, we need to figure out a lot more exactly why she's on the show, and exactly, again, why is the son not going to college? Everyone wants to know. I want to know now, like, what's going on here? Because again, something's not making sense. I want this to make sense.
Good point.